All right, ready to dive into something pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Always.
Today, we're looking at how mindfulness meditation can actually boost your physical abilities.
Interesting.
We're not just talking about relaxation.
Okay.
This deep dive is all about the groundbreaking research of Associate Professor Maarten Immink,
Okay.
a leading expert in the neuroscience of movement.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's discovering that mindfulness can actually make you better at learning and remembering new physical skills.
Really? Like how?
We've got a stack of his scientific papers right here.
Oh.
They're packed with insights into how even brief mindfulness exercises can supercharge your ability to pick up new motor skills. Anything from playing a sport to learning a musical instrument.
So cool. It's really remarkable.
Yeah.
We often think of the mind and body as separate, but Professor Immink's work is showing just how interconnected they truly are.
Totally.
Yeah.
And what's especially exciting is that these benefits aren't limited to experienced meditators.
Yeah. I was going to ask about that.
The research suggests that even if you've never meditated before, a short session can prime your brain for enhanced motor learning.
That's incredible.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So where do we even begin with this mind-body connection?
Well, let's start with how our brains learn movement patterns.
All right.
Imagine you're learning to play the piano.
Okay.
Initially, it's all very conscious.
Uh-huh.
You're thinking about each individual key you need to press.
Right. It feels awkward and deliberate.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay, middle C, then E, then G.
Exactly. That's what we call explicit learning.
Okay.
You're actively aware of what you're doing, but as you practice, something fascinating happens.
Yeah.
You start to develop muscle memory, and the sequence becomes more automatic.
Right.
You're no longer thinking about each individual note. Your fingers just seem to know where to go.
It's like your hands have a mind of their own.
That's a great way to put it. That's implicit learning.
Okay.
It happens below the level of conscious awareness.
Huh.
And to study this process, scientists use a clever tool called the Serial Reaction Time Task, or SRTT.
SRTT.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Think of it as a video game for your brain.
Yeah.
Participants see a sequence of visual cues on a screen and have to press keys that correspond to those cues.
Okay.
The catch is that the sequence repeats, but the participants aren't explicitly told that.
Oh, I see.
As they practice, they get faster and faster, even though they're not consciously aware of the repeating pattern.
So their brain is picking up on the pattern and optimizing the movements without them even realizing it.
Precisely. It's a powerful demonstration of how our brains can learn and adapt without conscious effort.
That's amazing. So how does mindfulness meditation fit into all of this?
Well, mindfulness meditation at its core is about training your attention to focus on the present moment.
Okay.
You're not trying to empty your mind. You're simply observing your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment.
Right, like noticing your breath or the sounds around you.
Right. Exactly. And while this might sound simple, it actually has a profound impact on your brain's ability to control attention and ignore distractions.
So it's like mindfulness is strengthening your brain's ability to focus.
Yeah.
But how does that translate to better learning of physical skills?
That's where Professor Immink's research gets really interesting.
Okay.
He's found that even a single session of mindfulness meditation, specifically a technique called yoga nidra,
Okay.
can significantly improve performance on the SRTT.
Yoga Nidra, is that different from regular meditation?
It is a specific type of meditation.
Okay.
Imagine being guided through a state of deep relaxation while still remaining fully conscious.
Okay.
It's incredibly effective at promoting focus and enhancing your brain's ability to process information.
Okay, so you're deeply relaxed, but your brain is still alert and ready to learn.
Yeah.
But did the study show that this actually leads to better learning of the SRTT?
Absolutely. Participants who practiced Yoga Nidra before doing the SRTT learned the sequence faster and performed better overall compared to those who didn't meditate. Wow.
And remember, this was after just one session.
Wow, that's remarkable. So even if you're a complete beginner,
Yeah.
taking a few minutes to do Yoga Nidra could give your brain a boost when learning something new.
That's what the research suggests.
That's amazing.
And it raises an important question. Could other types of mindfulness exercises also enhance motor skill learning?
I'm curious about that too. Did Professor Immink's team explore other techniques?
They did. In one study, they compared Yoga Nidra to a computer-based attention task.
Oh, cool.
Think of it like brain training software
Yeah.
designed to improve focus.
So they pitted ancient meditation techniques against modern technology.
Yeah.
Who came out on top?
Well, both groups showed improvement in their reaction times on the SRTT,
Okay.
meaning they got faster at completing the task.
Okay.
But here's the kicker. The Yoga Nidra group showed a significantly greater rate of learning.
Hold on, you're telling me that a simple meditation technique outperformed specialized brain training software when it came to learning a new skill?
That's pretty mind-blowing.
It really underscores the unique power of mindfulness to prepare the brain for optimal learning.
Okay, I'm sold. I'm adding Yoga Nidra to my pre-workout routine. But I have to ask, how does this actually work? What's going on in the brain that makes meditation such a potent learning enhancer?
Researchers are still unraveling the exact mechanisms, but attention control seems to be a key player.
That makes sense. Mindfulness is all about cultivating focused attention.
Exactly. When you practice mindfulness, you're essentially training your brain to resist distractions and stay laser-focused on the task at hand.
Yeah.
And this enhanced attention seems to create the perfect conditions for your brain to absorb and retain new information, including new movement patterns.
So it's not just about being more focused during the actual practice. It's about how mindfulness rewires your brain for better learning overall.
Precisely. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. Studies have shown that mindfulness meditation can actually boost what's called wakeful consolidation.
Wakeful consolidation. That sounds intriguing. What is that exactly?
It's essentially the process of strengthening memories while you're awake. Think about it. When you learn something new, your brain doesn't just file it away neatly.
Right.
It needs time to process and integrate that information.
Right, like letting things sink in.
Exactly. And what researchers have discovered is that even a brief meditation session after practicing a new skill can significantly enhance this wakeful consolidation process.
Wait, so even if I only have a few minutes to spare after practicing something new, a quick meditation session could actually help me solidify what I've just learned.
That's precisely what the research suggests.
Oh,
It's like giving your brain an extra boost to make those new motor skills stick.
this is incredible. I'm starting to see how mindfulness could be a game changer for anyone learning a new sport, musical instrument, or even just trying to improve their cooking skills.
Absolutely. And while most of the research has focused on these immediate learning benefits, there are hints that mindfulness might also play a role in retaining skills over the long term.
Oh, tell me more about that.
One study looked at the effects of a 21-day mindfulness meditation program on brain activity during a motor sequence learning task. They used EEG,
Oh, wow.
which measures brainwave activity, to track what was happening in the brains of the participants as they learned.
So they were able to actually see how meditation was changing their brain activity in real time.
Yes, and what they found was remarkable. The participants who practiced mindfulness regularly showed enhanced activity in specific brain regions associated with attention and cognitive control. And these changes were linked to better performance on the learning task, even after weeks of practice.
Wow, so even after extended practice, mindfulness was still having a noticeable impact on their brain function and their ability to learn. But how does that connect to long-term skill retention?
Well, while this particular study didn't directly measure long-term retention, it suggests that regular mindfulness practice could lead to more robust and efficient neural pathways associated with motor skills.
So it's like mindfulness is strengthening the infrastructure of our movement memory.
That's a fantastic analogy. And if those neural pathways are stronger, it stands to reason that the skills they represent would be less likely to fade or become rusty over time.
I'm starting to see how mindfulness could be valuable not just for learning new skills, but also for maintaining peak performance over the long haul. But what about the real world? Does this research on mindfulness and motor skills translate to complex activities like sports?
That's a great question, and one that researchers are actively exploring.
Yeah, it seems like all this research is pointing to mindfulness as a secret weapon for athletes, musicians, dancers, anyone who wants to perform at their best.
It's certainly a promising area of exploration.
Yeah.
While more research is needed to understand how mindfulness translates to complex real-world scenarios, there are already some fascinating findings emerging.
Like what? Have there been any studies on athletes using mindfulness?
There have. One study looked at the effects of mindfulness meditation on elite junior tennis players.
Okay.
They specifically designed the experiment to involve an implicit sequence, similar to the SRTT, to see if meditation would help the players subconsciously pick up on patterns in their opponent's serves.
Okay, so they were testing whether mindfulness could give the players an edge in anticipating and reacting to those serves.
Exactly.
Well,
They compared the performance of players who did a mindfulness exercise to a control group who just listened to an audiobook.
so did the mindfulness group ace the test?
Well, the results were a bit surprising.
Whoa, what?
They didn't find any significant performance benefits from a single session of mindfulness.
Really? That seems to contradict what we've seen so far with the SRTT studies.
It does seem counterintuitive at first glance.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that sports like tennis are incredibly complex.
Right.
There's a lot more going on than just reacting to a visual cue.
Right. You've got strategy, decision-making, emotional control, dealing with the pressure of competition.
Right.
It's a whole different ballgame.
Exactly. And while a single meditation session might not translate to immediate improvements in something as complex as returning a tennis serve,
Yeah.
it could still be having a positive impact on other aspects of the player's performance.
So maybe the mindfulness is helping them focus better, manage their anxiety, or make more strategic decisions during the match,
Yeah,
even if those improvements aren't immediately reflected in their serve return accuracy.
precisely. It's like the difference between a quick fix and a long-term investment.
Uh-huh.
Mindfulness isn't a magic bullet. It's a practice that cultivates a more focused, adaptable, and resilient mindset.
Okay.
And those qualities are essential for any athlete who wants to reach their full potential.
This is all so fascinating. It really seems like we're just scratching the surface of what mindfulness can do for human performance.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
This research is opening up a whole new frontier in understanding how we can optimize our physical abilities through mental training.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one key takeaway you want our listener to walk away with?
I think the most important message is that mindfulness is not just some esoteric practice. It's a powerful tool that can enhance our cognitive abilities, including our capacity to learn new skills and perform at our best, even in challenging situations.
And the best part is that anyone can benefit from it, regardless of their experience level.
Right?
Even a few minutes of focused attention can make a difference.
Absolutely. And it's never too late to start.
Yeah.
Whether you're an athlete, musician, artist, or simply someone who wants to learn and grow, mindfulness offers a pathway to unlock your potential and achieve greater mastery in all aspects of your life.
Well said. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired to go try some yoga nidra right now. Who knows, maybe it'll help me finally conquer that challenging yoga pose I've been working on.
Give it a try. You might be surprised at what you can achieve when you tap into the power of your mind.
And on that note, we'll leave our listener to continue their own deep dives into the fascinating world of mindfulness and human potential. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what you thought was possible. Until next time, keep diving deeper.